Alright, we recording. Can you see me good?
Yup.
If I come up?
Yeah, you come all the way up. Yeah. Yeah.
One of them wrestling goddamn videos. Woo! Coming through with the 36-inch Python. Twan, what size your Python? What you got?
17.5, man.
17.5.
Nah,
10.2. I got a 10.25 right here.
I know that.
17, you're like, that's right here. Oh, shit, champ. Why you flex that, baby?
Grown folk finna talk now.
Hey, everybody grown TV. Jump on the way. Grown folks stand up. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Hey, this that real talk. This that drill talk. I call it real spill. Tell you what it is talk. Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
Welcome back to Everybody Grown TV. Y'all already know who ain't here, so we got down old his ass some boots. It's all good. So what we want to talk about today is, well, it is Black History Month. We do got a black lady as the vice president. We do want to talk about the results, even though we should have been talking about it. But we want to talk about where we going with it from here on out. You know what I'm saying? They got a turn to kind of show us what they're going to do.
You know, I'm already feeling Joe Biden and what they talking about with these
First 100 days.
First 100 days, hey, they talking about giving everybody or wiping out 50,000 worth of student debt. Do it. Like,
Student debt?
Student debt.
Hey, I shouldn't tell you why, though.
See, problem.
Keep
deferring, baby.
Oh,
Hey,
man.
Hey, if they doing 50, I got 30, so do I get that 20 back? I'm just scared of like, I get that 20 back?
Just let me know, man.
Joe,
That would be fine.
Joe, send that email.
Like they cut it, see. But if I think they have to do it to alleviate the debt. Like they don't have to do it, but I swear to God, I promise. They do that, that'll be a major.
Oh, yeah.
That'll be that. Yeah, the national debt, like whatever, like cause all that stuff was created, but that'll take so much off of, man, hundreds of thousands of people to where if you talking about you want to boost the economy, where that money going at? Like education is essentially free. Like if you're talking about funding it, just fund. If you're talking about funding education, that's funding the teachers, that's funding the schools. That like everybody don't have to go to college, everybody don't have to go to trade school, but there are options for people, and you wipe that out on that misconception of everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody got out these loans, like people been hit hard. So that is a major stressor over energy that you're putting out to gain income to pay something that's
Usually to be free.
and totally free. It's like this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? It's right here, but it's not out here. So it's like all that energy has been spent. The teacher already got paid. You already got your education. You know, due to the circumstances, you're just not able to use it, but you still have to generate energy to compensate for this.
Right.
That's bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, for them to do that and for them to be talking about doing that is cool. That because all of that money that would be going to that, it like people not thinking about, oh man, like $500 a month bill, $277 a month bill. You know, that's just going out. That money can be going to what? They want a new car, guess what? Boom, then guess what getting paid? Corporations, Kia, fucking Ford, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like that.
Well, you gotta think about whether or not you're gonna pay your loan or, pay a bill or whatever. It's just like, bill is always gonna be priority compared to, you pay this loan for this education I got 15 years ago. Like, you still talking about that?
Let me ask y'all a question.
That's what made President Obama and Michelle Obama famous because you know how they stay down and pay their debt. That's cool. You know what I'm saying? But shoot, hell, people still got to pay their debt. They were talking about 50,000. You're talking about reducing it. You're not talking about wiping it all the way out.
Let me ask you a question. Just being realistic.
Yeah.
You know, we live in this society where it's always a lot of talk, but the fast track, the progression from the talks to actually get it done, that be my main issue. Like, are we gonna get it done?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? How long do it take? You use like, take like college football.
Mm-hmm.
Been streaming for a playoff for probably 30 years.
Yes.
Look how long it took to get it done. You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So like, when you
Well,
say
that's sports.
yeah, and that's just sports.
entertainment, yeah.
That's entertainment. So when you start talking about real life debt, because you got a lot of people that got a lot of debt from college, student loan, and they're not the job that they working. They can't really enjoy the American dream. You know, even if they're making 40, 50, 60, 70, hell, sometimes 100,000.
Yeah.
A lot of that money still going back out
Mm-hmm.
to student loan, depending on what their career choice was.
I know a dude went to law school, bro. His student loan is a house. It's like, you talking 250. And I'm like, woo, why would you do? Oh my God. Boy, before you can even get out, because he went to Ohio.
Yeah.
Then he went to a college down here. Then he went to a law school in Michigan. I was just like, champ, look at what you just did. I feel you. Just to say you a lawyer, baby, I feel you. Here's the problem. You done set yourself back so far before you even get hired. And it's just like, now you in the hole. It was like, now you got to take any BS attorney job just to like start kind of like getting you there. And then you start having kids, because naturally you out here messing around as a grown man. It was like, then you set yourself further, because it's just like, kids are expensive. You got this, no, you got to have your house, your car, and all this stuff like this. You have to be able to do this to pay this or whatever, but you keep further putting yourself in the hole. So it's just like anything Joe doing with that, man, that's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
Help alleviate
The thing
this.
about it, what you just said with Buddy, you said, why would you get all these student loans? You gotta think, some people, they already know their career aspirations, probably like they first, second year of high school.
Mm-hmm.
So they already know which route they're going, and they thinking, okay, once I do this high school, I'm gonna go to college, and then once I get done with college, I'm gonna either do law or I'm gonna do the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
In their mind, they know like, okay, a lot of these professions you make a lot of money. So they probably looking at that 250,000, which you
Like,
just said,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
oh man, I pay that off in no time. But in reality, 250,000 ain't no little chump change.
Nah,
But that ain't,
you know,
because once you add on, let's say,
And then interest too now.
let's say you buy a house in Atlanta, right? What's the median house cost?
It's
Like
going up,
100, right?
It's
So
going
now
up.
that's 650 right there. All right, you have a kid. It usually costs about what, 300,000 or something like that. Now to like actually raise a kid, or
it's
300,000. Yeah, it was just like I thought it was like 260-ish, but I'm just gonna say because it's like, what if you put them in private school?
Yeah,
all right. All right, so per child, you already like $1 million backwards before you even like start being like, yo, all right, let's get this money. Boy, you already worth like 70 years, like you $1 million in the hole, bro.
I like the way you think. When you, cause you said a lot of students, people don't know what they want to do their first.
Like if
second
you,
year high school.
like you,
hang on.
like I said, based on like if you choose one of the high-end professions like
Yeah.
a lawyer or going in the medical, you know that pretty
Yeah.
much. You don't just go to college and say, oh, I think I want to be a doctor. Like you pretty much know that in high school.
So look, what I'm saying is, no matter what you choose, we can reverse engineer our lives. Like with the numbers you put out there like that, like you say, just imagine we told our black boys, black girls, yo, think about where you want to be, right? Like we just outside, like think about where you want to be, but then hey, think about that financial cost, and then you already know from that day there that this is what you have to make this. You gonna have to cover this. But guess what? We're gonna do that anyway. That's the thing that sometimes we don't necessarily recognize and resonate with, that we're gonna make this money anyway.
That's why a lot of times it's just
gotta
more
know.
than
It also cuts it in half if you have a successful partner in your life. So if you have a wife and husband that's making whatever you're making, right?
Yeah.
So that kind of like cuts it in half. So it's like, as both you are progressing, it's just like that million is now down to 5.
But most of the time, when you in the high-end profession, you know you're gonna date somebody that related field.
Yeah, but
So they done.
That's
what
what
time?
you're around. That's
Yo.
what you're around. That's what
But they
you're
gonna put that up.
But
Like,
that same person might have the same debt you got. So
if not more, because it's like some of them have to actually keep up their appearance and a lifestyle status that they're not quite at right now, but you want to give off that appearance. That appearance that is like, yeah, I got this, I'm a successful lawyer. Meanwhile, once they park the bench, they go upstairs and eat some noodles.
I agree, and that's another reason why I think a lot of young people don't take advantage of trying to get free education, especially in undergrad. Like, you really don't. You need to try your best not to accumulate debt in undergrad if you can. If you got to, it is what it is. But if you can get them scholarship, man, you can get a scholarship and get $1,000. Like, go on and write that paper. Like, go on and write it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just do it. Because all that stuff helps you and it alleviates you from getting that student loan. And then, if you, like I said, if you're going, trying to study for the law, get your bar and all that, pass all that, or you're trying to be a doctor, okay, we know the medical field ain't cheap. So at least you can alleviate some undergrad debt, knowing that, okay, this is what my cost gonna really be.
With that one paper they write for the $1,000, it could buy, certain things that you might actually need for your profession later on down the line. If you need a stethoscope or anything like that, just write a little paper. All right, cash this out, and buy that. All right, for your lawyer situation, you gotta pay for LSAT, stuff like that, right? All right, you write this one little paper, you put that in that account right there, whatever test or accrued situations you have to handle. Take it out of there, put it towards that or whatever. Or if you like one or whatever, and you're creative, with that 1,000 or whatever, if you know that you can turn it into this hustle right here, turn this into some generated income or whatever, that's something you still just had to write a paper for. You didn't have to actually get out there and be like, hey, let me go ahead and put these 2 weeks in. No, it's just like write that, take it back to this or whatever. If you already been painting or doing shoes or shirts or whatever, this buys you a box of that supplies or whatever. Turn this into that, flip it, then you got 2. And keep going while you're still pursuing your educational goals or whatever, and you'll be okay. That's true.
It's tough.
Yeah, it ain't easy.
Yeah, it ain't easy. Yeah, that's what they say tough. Let me say that tough. It's not easy.
Right.
And I think that a lot of times people don't understand when something is not easy. Meaning that it's like saying something's not easy don't necessarily mean that it's tough. It's just not easy. It ain't gonna be a walk in the park. You're gonna have to exert a certain amount of effort to see the results that you want. At the same time.
Yeah, if anything worth having, you have to work hard for it, people.
Yeah.
That's to the younger audience, because the older audience already know what I'm saying or whatever. Nothing. Long days, long nights. Okay. If you want it.
You gotta bust your ass and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we getting off a little topic, but like I said, right there, people apply for the different loans. I mean, not loans, but grants. There's a lot of grants out there that might fit your circumstances. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, definitely. Minority programs, different type of. It be all different type of work. So if you're a girl artist, so if you're a girl who want to venture into STEM and STEAM, there's money and a lot of things like that for their families. Like people that's our age who watching this, y'all got kids that's coming up now that may be going off to college or looking at the college. Look up, especially if they had fit demographic or fit certain circumstances. Think about those. There's a lot of unique funds out there just for students that fall in that category because they want to integrate more. Right. It's just like we don't necessarily hear about it all the time, but hey, you're hearing about it now. It's out there.
But getting back on topic or whatever, right? Yeah. So that first 100 days, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna applaud Biden's administration because he's actually like keeping certain promises that, most presidents, whatever they get in, like, we spend all that. All right, then, so what we're gonna do for the rich? He's like, at least in the first 100 days, whatever you promised to get there, try your best to get that knocked out. Afterwards or whatever, like, I love the fact that they, I think they cut ties with private prison. So that's gonna help with, kind of like making sure people don't get railroaded for profit or whatever. So I love that the most. Do I expect anything to necessarily change with this new administration? Being honest, no, because I'm 37 and the hood still look like the hood. And rich are still going to do things to basically. corrupt any administration, because at the end of the day, it's one of them. All right, so when you get out of the White House, I got you, baby. You know what I'm saying? We'll go ahead and let's do this tax situation for these 4 years, and I got you and her. Nobody in the business world is gonna say, no, how dare you do that? When I'm thinking about the rest of my family for the rest of their life, it's like nobody does that. So I don't expect anything to change. I'm happy we have a female vice president, because, you know, my daughter, Black Girls Walk, all that good stuff like that. But it was like, it gives them something to look forward to. Hopefully they can stay on point and, you know, execute a whole lot of goals. Whatever. I want that for them. I think it'll show America that it's like, you know, you don't have to be Trumpish to get things done or whatever. That whole saying whatever you want to say at any given moment, blurt it out like you're bipolar, you know, that doesn't necessarily work in the professional world. Yeah, it doesn't. It's just like, everybody's not a billionaire. You can't say whatever you want to say. It's just like, there are consequences to your words and actions always. So, you know, it's good that, I know this, it's good to have better examples in the Oval Office. Yeah.
Let me see. What you think about? I'm telling you, this is one of the things that I'm really paying attention to. This outside one nice shirt.
Thank you. You rocking the ladies hip hop culture.
Yes,
Yeah.
So,
You know, I know the designer personally.
Yes, sir.
With the Atlanta tops and bottoms.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you know what I'm saying? Hey, Super Bowl Sunday, man, I'm still ready.
don't do that, man. But anyway, this is my thing, man. I'm interested to see what kind of laws and charges that get brought up on police, on this police brutality, and taking advantage of the racial thing, and, you know, messing with black people up, whether it's violence, murder, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times, even they people like, okay, they need to be fired immediately. To me, just being fired ain't justice. If you get what I'm saying, hey man, what y'all doing?
Their pension,
Right.
when you
But then what I'm saying,
massively take somebody's life, I feel like to compensate, the state should have to pay for that.
Right.
Your pension
Right.
should be depleted in order to handle that, because if it was a simple situation or whatever, with me, I gotta pay that. You know what I'm saying? If I do something in the county or whatever, and I do it on my own terms or whatever, it's like, and it gets me sued, the county's not gonna pay for that. I'm paying for it.
think about it like this. Even let's say that if I go out there and shoot somebody because I don't like them, I'm going to jail. I'm going to jail.
Check it well.
So why? Because when you got a badge
Yeah.
and you doing this stuff, why you not immediately going to jail?
Right.
These folks coming to y'all house, guarding y'all, some of y'all, or they setting it up because y'all got a little buddy system going on. It's a game, man. Everybody know what time it is, man. Y'all take advantage of certain people, and y'all go after certain ones who probably got a little something with record so you can deem them as a criminal. But you know, I'm the type of person, just because you do something bad one day don't mean that's gonna forever be you. You know, everybody entitled to changes. But when you take somebody's life, you need to go through that same process as every pedestrian if they supposed to do it. Straight up.
Same due process for it.
Yeah, same process. They
Well, they are, but they're not doing it. It's not fair.
No.
They're not actually, they charge them,
Yeah.
they just don't actually prosecute.
Right.
So they do this as a media situation.
They're not sitting in no cells.
I know, that's what I'm saying. They do it as a media situation to appease to the community and be like, yeah, we got them. And everybody turns their back because this is what we do. We were like, we have that short-term situation memory-wise or whatever, where it's just like, oh, they got him. And he walked off and they were like,
You see the motherfucker in the store next
all right,
to
then,
me.
yeah, it's just like, and he walked around, he's still armed, he's still, you know, he still has his freedom, he's not on house arrest.
And even if he's not a police officer, he's still somebody buddies hooking him up with a job.
Yeah.
So he's still, his life ain't really altered. The only thing that altered is he's in the media for what he did. That's it.
Right.
That's it. But
Speaking of that situation, I heard y'all brought up guns and shoot people for various causes. I don't know if y'all seen it. It's a very, it's a tragic video at the end of the day, but it's, you know, people done kind of created their own storylines on what the deal was, but what we see, or what you see in the video is 3 people in an altercation where they're shoveling snow in Pennsylvania, something like that. And, you know, you got the husband and wife team, and then you got the neighbor across the street, which seems crazy. The story that's been perpetuated is they shoveling snow from their driveway across the street into their neighbor's driveway, and they meet out in the middle of the street, and they change the words. The husband's like, "Fuck you, you fucking pussy," and the wife is, "Yeah, you fucking dick face," and it was like, you know, it's like, it was like, you know, man, like, you know, he did, but in the middle of all of that hoopla, he walks off, and there's, you know, they sit out in the middle of the street, and they come back, they engage again, a few moments, several shots, you know what I'm saying, just several shots, and this shit is caught on camera on the Ring camera, you know, and it's not even an eye-opener because we know this exists, but you see that it exists in such a cold,
I'm just sad it's white on white.
cold way. You know what I'm saying? But they perpetuate that African Americans are, you know, the only ones killing people that are just drop a dime, flip of a hat situations.
We thugs.
We don't really don't know.
But they're like, them the ones who'll be like,
Are you?
get off anyway.
Right.
Yeah, go ahead and go bust
It's
it.
like no different than a football player. Beat his girl, thought she was dead.
Yeah.
He thought she was dead.
And that shit got swept under the rug.
Basically.
That shit got
But
swept
had he
under the
been
rug.
Ray Rice,
Oh man, I mean,
yeah.
I haven't even heard about that I just seen that on Instagram and stuff. I hadn't even seen that on Instagram. He beat that girl to within an inch of her life. Because it was a white dude beating a black woman. But
then
that
they blame it on he bipolar.
Ah man, all this niggas bipolar, but yet you pick, man, please, that's just crazy.
Right.
But yeah, nah, that's yeah.
That's crazy, man. And then, you know, it's like same, that wild, that Scarface type of demeanor. And you know, like Scarface is a fictional character, so I don't feel bad saying that Scarface demeanor. Well, I didn't see, like Scarface had reason, like whatever, you know what I'm saying, shit was. Yeah, but this man, middle of the street, and then not only did he do that, came back with a different weapon, close range, and just squashed them out like roaches, like both of them. And you know, it's. But
I think, yeah, it was just like, cause I already know, like, yeah, I got something to say on that. Go ahead, Red.
Oh, now I was gonna say what was crazy is the dudes, they were like, you know, like Twan said, hey, finally they show the white on white crime. That's one thing. Every race kills their race more than the other. So people try to always pinpoint the black on black crime. Like we the only race that kill. If you look at any country, any part of the world, that race, if you look at how many people kill white people, it's more white people kill white people than black people. Of course, black people don't kill blacks more. That shit just happened. So I'm happy to look. I'm not happy that was a bad situation. But I'm trying to say that like that social media lets things get seen that the news wouldn't show.
Now check this out.
Yeah.
Now we just said it's not only the major network. Are we being programmed to look at Instagram, Twitter as major news networks? Because in fact they are. They're underground news networks. They're just not. They're just
No
not.
doubt about it. I agree with that.
There's more freedom of speech compared to your major news network where everything is kind of programmed. So people take to Instagram to kind of put Instagram and Facebook to put news out there, but it's kind of almost like it's clickbait situation. You're just like, is this really true? Is this really true? Because CNN just said this. Well, you know, they're just for entertainment and they're not going to tell the truth on everything. Right. So why should I believe you?
Oh, CNN said that?
No, I'm just saying it was like
Most news out there.
they all program, and they're not trying to actually tell the truth, but they're trying to be the first person to break the story.
Right. Okay.
So it's like when you're doing this or whatever, I would rather look at that story that took 2 or 3 days to actually, because they did more research. Yeah. So it's like, I'd rather be like, oh, okay, it's a little older, but this one is more in depth.
They get mad at TMZ because they be beating everybody to the punch.
Yeah. And you know, I just wanted to ask y'all a question though. And I hate to almost be playing devil's advocate on things, but is it really freedom of speech though?
On what?
Because if you start saying shit,
You ain't getting silence
on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, is it really, do we really truly have freedom of speech? Because if you say something that the popular majority doesn't agree with, they will shut you down. As much as we don't like what Trump said, he's free speech. They shut him down because he said some shit.
And at the end of his term, where they realized
they shut Boosie down. They shut Boosie down. They shut this lady. What is she? Was she a Congress lady or something? I forget what she was. They shut her down. She started talking about conspiracies about 9/11 and everything, and now she got voted out of her position for speaking her mind. So do we truly have freedom of speech?
it's freedom of, like, as far as media goes, the ability to post or at least like broadcast it, you know, whether people believe it or not, yeah, it'll get taken down if it's false. You know what I'm saying? Or if it's a little too
Nah, we wasn't saying certain little Boosie stuff was his opinion. That wasn't necessarily false, no.
But he felt about, and that's what's crazy, and I feel it's a double standard because, you know what I'm saying? And like I said, I don't agree with Trump at all, but I agree that every man should have freedom of speech. You should be able to say what you think and what you feel. If people feel that it's false, let's have that debate. But it's supposed
For
to
the
be
thing is, we do have freedom of speech.
Yeah.
I can say and say whatever I want to say, good, ugly, bad.
Yeah.
Yes, now your freedom of speech gets restricted and limited once you start saying it to the wrong people, or the wrong people hear what you primarily think, because then you get that oil in the water as that way it starts like spreading. I mean, but people agree with your
what you just said. Again, Lil Boosie stuff was an opinion. That didn't create no riot to kill nobody.
Yeah, true.
That didn't create no riot or stop go on Capitol Hill or nothing like that. That was his opinion. So technically, you don't have freedom of speech on all these. You can say a lot of things, a lot of wide things, but when you reach a certain platform and you can persuade a lot of minds, your freedom of speech get kind of restricted.
Exactly. Because like,
I mean, you can go say some more wild stuff on IG right now. Because we probably don't have 1 million followers. But let us have 1 million followers. Now we start really saying some crazy stuff.
Right.
Oh man, we got to suspend this.
Like I said, they can remove that white lady from office.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Hey, Sprinkle. Let me go and stop there real quick. What I was looking at, and since we're in February, I want to talk to y'all about Black History Month just a little bit. What I did with my students this week as far as art and creation. We talked about courage and being courageous and also being encouraging. We talked about people like Hank Aaron, Cicely Tyson, both who have just recently passed away from living long, successful lives. I wish them peace. They paved the way and did a lot for the African American community. And just want to talk about Hank Aaron as an Atlanta native. He did a lot for the city as far as unifying and starting to bridge the gap between white people, black people, all through the means of sports. One of the things that we spoke about in one of our prior episodes is how with the COVID situation, how we're losing some of that or lost some of that camaraderie over the basis of game and sports. But moreover, we talk about Cicely Tyson and her illustrious career. She started out as a model. She went on to be one of the most prominent and tenured actresses in American history, in my opinion. And she did a lot. She had dignity in her roles and all of her casting and things that she chose to take on. She wanted to uphold black women and show them in the highest light. Now, I do have this one thing about Cicely Tyson. I don't know if y'all know it like I know, but back when I was a kid, we watched the documentary of Jane Pittman, and that always warped my perspective of who Cicely Tyson was. Cause in my mind, she was almost like a Benjamin Button. I was like, how the is this lady this old, but like still like acting? I was always confused. Like it was the special effects as a kid. I was looking, I'm like, is she like, what's going on? Like, but I came to realize that, they were just like makeup and things like that. But man, I'm telling you, man, rest in peace, Cicely. You messed me up with that Jane Pittman. I know it was a true story about the slave, but man, I didn't know who was who. But then I saw how beautiful she was and how she, from that point in time, she almost aged backwards to me. So that's why it was always crazy, like coming from that point, like really what the fuck going on? But bless both of them. Bless those who passed this week. Close friends to everybody on the EBG squad. Aisha Brooks. We want to send condolences to her family, uplifting and praise, and make sure that you guys go and send your support that way. That's my rant, guys. It's never Black History. 28 days is always, every day is Black History. There are more than enough things that we've done and accomplished. There's still other things that we're going to accomplish. Like right now, you're witnessing the takeover of EBG Media Group, and this is where it started at, y'all. Black History Month 2021. Peace.